Hi everyone, it's Diary of a Mystic, doing a video, Paranormal Diaries, the Spirit of Mary. This is my story. We moved into the house that we live in now in June 2016. That is not the actual house, and I will not post a picture of the actual house. When we moved in, the people before us had lived here about 6 or 7 years. And when we looked at the house, all their belongings were outside, and a lot of their things were still left all over the house. Either they were evicted or they just left, which was kind of odd to me, but I've seen that happen before when looking at places to live. Immediately moving in, I had 3 angel statues break. This is a picture of my angel that I've had for 20 years, and her wing broke. I also had 2 other statues that also broke a 1 wing each. When we moved in, immediately strange things started to happen. When we were told previous to moving in, the landlord did tell us that the family who did leave had gone through a divorce, and then about 6 months after, the husband had died. The husband's name was Alan. And the first day of staying here, we heard a knock on the closet door in my bedroom. That was peculiar to us, and of course we thought maybe one of our kids did it, or it was just the house making strange sounds, but it was a knock, as if the spirit in the house was saying hello to us. That night, my cat was hissing and growling and laying down low, looking at something in another room. I stopped and looked at her, and she was staring at something that I couldn't see. We then started to hear loud bangs in the basement, which you're looking at the picture of, for nights on end. It sounded like something was picking up like a fridge and throwing it to the floor. We also heard balls being dropped down the basement steps. We also felt what felt like to us cats rubbing against our legs. Even though we had 2 cats at the time, we would look down and see no cat around us. We felt, as we called them, phantom cats. We also witnessed a small orb coming around the corner of this house, the picture you're looking at. It was blue, and it traveled around the side of the house the first month we lived here, and it passed by us in the evening time. It was a blue shape, or a blue color, is a shape about the size of a golf ball, and we watched it float about 6 feet from the ground right past us. We also started to hear sounds of running down the hallway and of children talking. I got up one night because I thought our kids were awake around midnight and they were asleep, but the children sounded like them. Our hallway light started to turn on and off. We would hear claps, loud claps behind us. It would also follow us in the car. It wasn't until last summer I heard a voice say hi to me outside, and we also experienced our doorknobs jiggling as well as knocks on the windows. So last summer I was having a conversation with our neighbor, and I looked at her and I said, "I think our house is haunted." And she looked at me matter-of-factly and said, "It is. It's Mary." I said, "Who's Mary?" And previous to this conversation, I remember telling the landlord, or asking him, did anybody die in the house? And he told me no. And then about a year and a half after that, or a year after, with the conversation with my neighbor, she told me that it's Mary, who was the landlord's wife, that she had died in the house. Ever since, she said, all the tenants that had lived in this house experienced paranormal activity with the lights going on and off, water running, loud bangs, and she said she and her husband would often see shadow figures in our yard. There are many stories, she said, from previous tenants about lights turning on and off. In my daughter's bedroom, she experienced breathing in her face at night, and I took a nap one day and felt heavy breathing on my face as well. We would often hear footsteps above us, even though we don't have an attic. We would hear someone walking around. It took about a year after we moved in for the activity to calm down. Ever since then, I was doing a lot of spiritual work in the house, doing a lot of cleansings, saging, and praying. We now feel that Mary hears us and has now become quieter, as we feel that she's also part of our family. She also helps us with things as well. So this is the story of Mary. She was very young when she passed, and then she died very suddenly in the home. And it was in a particular specific spot of the house. I wanted to share this because it's the most active haunting and paranormal activity that I've ever witnessed or experienced in my life. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I thank you. If you have any real life, true paranormal or haunting stories, you're welcome to share them with me and email me at diaryofamystic1@gmail.com, and I can do a compilation and put them together. I really believe when a soul dies suddenly and tragically, many times that spirit will stay on in the place that they died. Mary to me now has become a friend to our family, and she's also become a very peaceful spirit in this home. Stay blessed, my friends.